How can it help you as a provider? To know yourself is to understand your clients. My self-esteem, my self-hatred was so great I didn't believe I even deserved a bed to sleep in. If you love everything you think, where's the problem? Maybe their pain was that much, and maybe you believe yours was that much. Well, that is that much too much. I thought suicide and death were the only way out.
In your words, what's happening inside?
Well, it's simple, they're believing their thoughts. You know, I can't take you any place I haven't been. Okay, for those of you that have not experienced the work, or those of you who are not familiar with the work is a way to identify and then to question the thoughts that you yourself are thinking. The thoughts that actually cause all the suffering and violence in the world. Another definition for the work is it's a way to question what you're believing, a way to question the mind. The work is 4 questions and what I call a turnaround, and then we find examples for those turnarounds. Okay, so now let's have the experience of it. If you look in the packages that you were given, you'll see a one belief at a time worksheet. And I invite you to allow your mind its freedom. Give it its freedom. Read the directions at the top of this one belief at a time worksheet, and then fill the blanks in with very short, simple sentences. Who would volunteer to read what they've written on their worksheet? Thank you.
This might actually touch on what we've just spoken about, but mine is, I am mad at some drugs workers who feel they aren't passionate about recovery because they lose people and they fail to give people opportunities.
So, drug counselor, continue to read.
I want them to change. What I want them to do is I want some drugs workers to open up and listen to what the recovery movement has on offer.
Okay, would you like to step into my parlor? Thank you for your courage. So, continue to read.
Can I just say, right now I feel like I put my hand up really quickly and now I feel like really massively vulnerable up here, and I'm kind of shaking quite a bit. So.
Okay, now you're shaking. Do you love it yet?
No. No.
Okay, so be with it a moment. You know, people pay hundreds of dollars to go to Disneyland just to get that feeling.
Okay, get you.
Yeah?
Get you.
Oh my goodness, feelings, feelings, feelings. You know, the problem with feelings is we believe our thoughts about the feelings, and that alienates us from them and frightens us. It's what we're believing about the feelings that cause the fear. But you know, all that shaking, and I mean, it would be, you know, if we just get really still with it and allow it just to see if they're going to kill us, test it. Or just to see if we're going to faint and pass out and just fall down where we are. You know, test it. Test it. And the thoughts, when you're feeling those feelings, this is too much, I can't handle it. Oh, really? Is it true? Can you absolutely know that it's true? And to allow them, you know, test it. And who would you be without that thought when you're experiencing those feelings?
Okay, because I feel better now you said that, because when you said something about alienation, I feel like that I might alienate myself from everyone here, or they might alienate themselves from me.
And then what would happen?
Then I'd have to just experience that and see what comes up.
If you alienated yourself from everyone here, you know the worst that could happen? Thoughts. Thoughts. Thoughts happen. They happen. You know, when you wake up in the morning, do you think to yourself, I think I won't think today? It's too late. You're already being thought. Thoughts happen. It's when we believe some of those stressful thoughts that our world begins to turn upside down. We become confused. And I've come to see that confusion is the only suffering on this planet. So this work is about the end of confusion, therefore the end of suffering. But you know, I haven't met a feeling I haven't loved in 24 years, because I understand that it's the way my mind interprets those feelings that is the cause of suffering. So continue to read.
Workers, some drugs workers, and I'm absolutely not saying everyone, but some drugs workers shouldn't close themselves off to the possibility of change, both for themselves and for the clients that they work with.
So drug counselors, and find the ones that in your opinion are this way, you know, keep those people in mind, just those, it's not all of them.
Yeah.
Okay, so those drug counselors are what? How would you say it simply? Shut down?
Shut down, dead, closed-minded, and in some cases completely obnoxious.
Okay, so they're so they are shut down and closed-minded. Okay, now it doesn't have to be a drug counselor. It can be maybe a family member. It can be maybe someone you work with. It can be someone that maybe was your third grade teacher in school. So everyone, I invite you to find that person in your life. Okay, so that person is shut down. Closed-minded.
They can't hear me.
Can't hear you. So
They can't hear the client.
that drug counselor cannot hear you. They're not open-minded. Is that true? Can you absolutely know that it's true that that counselor is shut down and closed-minded?
No, it feels like that sometimes, but I don't know that that's true.
Okay, now